Hello, one and all. It's Thursday and the Bitcoin bounce continues. How far can it go? That's the question on all of our minds. Well, let me maybe help you with that. I hope you're all well and you've had a good day. Thank you for joining me for another one of my Bitcoin price action analysis videos. Now, I'm going to start off with the weekly. I'm going to do a bit of a Bollinger Band video today, just for a change. Now, this is CME. CME closes tomorrow, and it's got a chance of this weekly candle closing above last week's entry, which, still is consolidation. It's no great shakes, but it would kind of solidify the bounce as more of a significant one, in my humble opinion. And you can see, just checking in with this Fibonacci retracement, which I took from this low here to this high here. So the last kind of impulsive move on the weekly. And you can see the 382. I've got that the wrong way around. Oh, no, I haven't. Yeah. So it already tested the 618. It already tested the 0.5. And by closing above last week's open here, it would indeed get back up to the 382. Now remember, the 382 is a point of, if you like, a shallow reversal. And, it's just a support resistance line at the end of the day. That's what the Fibonacci represents. But I think that, weekly closure back above 58 and change for CME would be okay. It would be more consolidation within the range rather than breaking down. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that one. What would look even better, of course, using the Bollinger Band sort of theory, would be a closure back above on a weekly time frame, basically 63, which is the midpoint, the 20 SMA. The reason for that is if you get volatility expansion, generally, whichever side of the I'm going to call it the midpoint, it's not really the midpoint, but whichever side the price is relative to the 20 SMA, which is the middle line on the Bollinger Band. If it's above and you get volatility expansion, price goes up. If it's below and you get volatility, saying it too many times, volatility. If volatility expands when the price is below the midpoint, then that's a move to the downside. So you can see it is still below and will remain below until Bitcoin closes a weekly at the moment, back above 63,000. That will also turn the MACD green, because that will turn green if Bitcoin closes this week above 62,000. So still work to be done, but I'd say, depending on where this week ends up, not a bad week for Bitcoin. All right, now I'm going to jump over to Bybit to look at the daily next. So the daily's got quite a good chance. Maybe not today. Maybe it won't close above the mid. Hello? I don't know what happened to the video then. It seemed to pause. I hope you're all still with me and you can hear me loud and clear. So yeah, the daily's got a good chance to get back above the 20 SMA on the Bollinger Band here, which would be a good thing. And it's basically coming right where the price is at the moment. So we'll see. That would look good basically for more consolidation, but also it would make the next move to the downside a bit less likely. What else was I going to say about that? Oh yeah, the momentum. So the MACD continues to be a shade of green, but it's still below the zero line. The number for closure at midnight tonight is 56,000 for that to continue to be green, and it's still too far away from the zero line for this number to be relevant. Ultimately, you can't get volatility expansion to the upside on the daily while Bitcoin is below, at the moment, 64,000, although if this happens, so if Bitcoin, just say Bitcoin starts to do this sort of thing, then the Bollinger Bands will close in, given enough time, and then it'll change the point at which volatility expansion in either direction will occur from. So, it's all hearsay, but it's relevant. Yeah, so still pressure to the downside, on the daily, but it seems like the momentum is waning. It doesn't mean it's over, it just means it's waning. All right, 4 hour, what's that Bollinger Band doing? Well, the 4 hour, interestingly, has had some volatility expansion on the Bollinger Band, but not epic. But it has had some volatility expansion. It's now looks like it's contracting a bit, but it will expand again with closures just back above this area at basically, call it 58.5. So a few 4 hour closures back above 58.5. That's volatility expansion to the upside. The flip side of that coin would be 4 hour closures back below 57, which then puts you into a consolidation. And for a downside move, Bitcoin basically needs to start closing 4 hours back below this wick here, which is where that support resistance line is. It's coming in at 55.5. So yeah, 55.5 is a no-go zone if you're looking for more upside. But you really want to see Bitcoin remain above 57. It's not a million miles away from there for this 4 hour time frame, a trend to continue to the upside. Yeah, momentum still to the upside on the 4 hour, and it will continue to rise basically above 58. So similar to the midpoint, but a bit higher up, a bit further north, really. It's pretty much my support resistance line, actually. So that's quite close to turning, or the MACD is close-ish to turning down. You can see it's just about $400 away from it at the moment. But I'd say the 4 hour looks okay. And I'll just check on, let's just stick a Fibonacci on just to see where, from the point of view of that, why have I just drawn a nose on the screen, people? And a big eye. Let's get rid of that. Let's try this. So yeah, from the point of view of the last sort of impulsive move down, you can see it's hanging out, or it's knocking on the door of the 0.5 at the moment. So that's pretty good. Although for Bitcoin to shrug off this most recent downtrend, it really needs to close back above 60 and all the better, 62 from a Fibonacci point of view. And you can see those as support resistance levels. So, there's definitely work to be done. And I don't think any complacency should be had, by me, certainly not, with regards to this bounce so far. But I think my cautious optimism that I've had for the last couple of days remains cautiously optimistic. All right, there you go. That's the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, thumbs up, like, and subscribe. And join me tomorrow for Fridays, and we'll see where CME is going to close. Take care. Goodbye.